All right, welcome back. It's July 7th. I want to do a follow-up video to let you guys know where I'm at and how things are going. Of course, as this thing has gone along, some things have evolved and changed a little bit. I haven't been on like 100% regimented path. I've evolved now into what I call the trifecta. In fact, my wife and I both... we were kind of at different points and doing some different stuff along the way, but we've really gotten down to being on very, very similar plans and doing very similar things. So basically what we are doing is what we call the trifecta, and that is diet, exercise, and fasting. I guess the biggest unexpected thing was the fasting, and it's been unbelievable. Now, I've tried fasting in the past, and it's been terrible. But not having sugar in your system dramatically changes the effect that fasting has on you. And we've learned so much about fasting and so many of the myths. And we've been actively doing this for a month now, so I feel pretty comfortable calling some of these things myths. So, like, one of those myths is that your body is going to go into starvation mode and that you're not going to wind up losing weight anyways. Well, it's been a month and I'm down almost 27 pounds as of this morning. I believe it was 26 and a half, and she's down 19. So, our results have been pretty significant. And it's super exciting because of the time that I've been trying to lose weight, the 10 years, losing 5 pounds or 8 pounds, even 10 pounds has happened before. This is not the first time I've lost 10 pounds, but this is the first time that I've been under 200. And it's really cool because I just watched the first video that I made a month ago and said, I hope to be one of these people that says I got down to 190 pounds. Well, that didn't happen. I'm down to 186. So I'm actually 4 pounds ahead of where I hope to be. And again, my most successful endeavor with trying to lose weight in the last 10 years was maybe 10 pounds. Maybe, which put me right on the brink of 200. So as I sit here today, a month in, I'm 26 and a half pounds down. And how did I get there? I got there with 3 things: diet, exercise, and fasting. Diet, I've been on basically following a ketogenic diet. I really love the keto. Keto works for me because I love keto food. I love most of the keto food. The one thing I will say about the keto diet, and to dispel some of the myths, is like you can easily not do it well. Like, yes, you can eat bacon. You can't eat bacon every meal. You can't eat 2 pounds of bacon a day. That's crazy. You know, you can't take that diet and apply it in some ridiculous radical way and expect it to have results. It's still a diet. I mean, you still have to, I don't per se calorie count, but I have some idea of how many calories I'm consuming. And you still have to watch what you eat within the diet. You know what I mean? You know, the other thing is, like, people will say, like, oh, well, like, chicken wings are on the diet. You got to kind of be careful with that. So my wife makes chicken wings in an air fryer, and we put hot sauce on them. And that is within the diet. Again, you don't want to eat that 3 times a day. It's not, you know what I mean? You're not going to lose weight that way. So you still need to be conscientious of your caloric intake, and you still need to be conscientious of what you're putting into your body. And you can't pick the most extreme foods on the diet and feed them to yourself nonstop for your total calorie count for the day and think you're going to get results. The ketogenic diet is just like any other diet. I mean, you have to apply it with from a logical way and within a logical amount. So you're still going to have to put in the legwork. We did that more actively at first, looking at how many calories we were consuming. In the meantime, with the fasting. So we started with doing basically the way the fasting started for us was we basically went to a 20 and or an 18 and 6 fast. So in other words, we fasted for 18 hours, then we ate for 6, because I would have lunch and then we would have dinner. So we said, hey, let's try that first. So that's what we did. We started not having breakfast basically and not eating after dinner. That was our first step. And then I was on about day 4 of that, and I realized I was at work and I was about to have my lunch, and I realized that I wasn't really hungry. And so I just said, let me try OMAD for a little while, which is, 1 meal a day. And so I moved to OMAD. I didn't even really say anything to her, and before too long, she was saying like, "Hey, this two meals a day is not bad. I can totally live with this. If we can get better results, maybe we could skip 2." So we wound up skipping breakfast and lunch, and we just do 1 meal a day. And then about the middle of the month, we were having dinner and then riding the bikes usually after dinner in the evening. About the middle of the month, we kind of switched that up too, and so we started experimenting with working out in a fasting state. So we would basically come home from work and we would go on a bike ride first, and so the health benefits and the benefits that are said to be there is that it produces epinephrine or norepinephrine and adrenaline when you work out in a fasted state before eating. You have this norepinephrine and these adrenaline response in your body, which helps the digestion process when you eat the food after you work out, which makes total sense. I mean, it's not the first time I've heard that. And I would totally agree. I mean, I think that opposed to eating a meal because we're only eating 1 meal a day and you got up in the morning and went to work. So then you come home. I mean, what are you going to, if you're going to have 1 meal a day? We usually have the meal and then work out. I feel like you're more working off the food on your ride. Whereas if you come home and you work out and then you eat, it's more like your body is taking the nutrients of it. I think the process works better if you work out in a fasted state and then you eat food. The other thing that, I feel very comfortable saying is a myth is this whole your body goes into emergency mode and, all this sort of stuff. We've been doing this for a month, and I'm down 26 and a half. She's down 19 plus. She's probably down 20 or more by now because we haven't been weighing ourselves as much in the last couple of days. It's the 7th of the month, so this video is a couple of days late. But I lost, I think it was 25 pounds on the nose as of the 1st of the month. So I lost 25 pounds in a month doing what I'm doing, which is the keto diet with the fasting. So I'm eating keto food 1 meal a day. And I have to say that I absolutely love it. I mean, grilled swordfish was incredible. I'm loving it. And I do things now like where I go to the market and it's like, oh, what are you going to get? I'm not sure. I'll pick it out when I get there. And sometimes I'll get lamb, or sometimes they'll have red snapper. The seafood kind of comes and goes, so it's not always the same thing. Or sometimes she'll go to the market and I'll just say, hey, just surprise me. And she'll come home and say, hey, have you ever had flounder before? Sea bass. We're trying all these different kinds of food. And luckily, like I said, this diet works for me. Like, I love asparagus and I like green beans and I like broccoli. I like cauliflower. So it's what works for me. I've been really enjoying it. It's not a sacrifice. I really enjoy the foods and I love butter. I have to actually limit my butter because I know it's within the diet, but like I would drench everything in butter if I had it my way. I would drink it. And that's one of those things, like it's exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, butter is on the diet, but you still have to be conscientious of your cholesterol. You still have to have moderation within the diet. You can't apply it in some ridiculous way and expect that it's going to be healthy. You still have to have reasonable boundaries. So the exercise I pretty much talked about mostly in the last video. I've been biking. Now, the biking has been awesome, and it's been a journey. I added a heart rate monitor to it. I know in my first video I talked about the problem I was having with walking. I felt like the problem with the walking was that my heart rate wasn't getting high enough. Well, biking is such a great exercise because I can get my heart just above sitting down pace by getting on my bike and just riding a slow pace. And I can get my heart to 150 if I want to ride extremely fast. It's a very flexible form of working out. And if you have a path course set up with not a lot of altitude change, you can totally control your heart rate just by the pace that you set. Now, when I'm at work, I ride in an area that's very hilly, and so I have less control. I have to really actively look at how fast I'm riding because my heart rate will just go off the charts or dip down to just above resting on long downhills. So I have to more actively monitor it. I purchased a polar armband that I put on, and it translates to an app on my phone and I keep my phone on my handlebars that relays the information to me when I'm riding. And I have it set up so that it notifies me when I go above 125 or below 115. So I get, so if I'm not paying attention, I'm just going my ride, and it was a casual, it'll let me know, hey, you're going into the cardio zone. Hey, you're going below this point, and then I can just kind of speed up a little bit. So I've gotten better at doing that. The heart rate monitor has been my biggest thing that I've added in the last month. But that's the way I've done it. That's how I lost 25 pounds in a month. And in fact, I'm a few days late on this video. So at this point, I'm just under 27 pounds down now. And I've actually slowed down a little bit. I've been expanding my diet just a little bit because I'm almost at the weight that I want to be. And again, I plan on migrating to pretty much a regular diet. I don't plan on staying on keto forever. I think keto is a great weight loss tool, and I think I will always incorporate keto aspects like the reduced sugar, the naturalistic foods, that sort of thing. It's not going to go away, but I'll be expanding my diet a little more. I mean, we've gone out to eat a couple times in the last week. I mean, we've been expanding our diets a little more, and we're still losing weight. So we've been actively keeping an eye on that stuff. But now that we're getting down to pretty close to where we want to be, we've been kind of loosening up the regimen just a little bit, while still watching to make sure that we don't start regressing and going in the other direction. So that's pretty much it. That's how the month went for me. I'm totally stoked. I'm going to keep going with things. Some other things that we've learned about this month was calorie density, which is basically just looking at foods. And so you take foods like broccoli and vegetables and things like that, or even fish. For a meat, that's the largest volume for the lower calorie amount of food. Whereas when you eat things that are calorie rich, you're getting all the calories that you need, but you're not feeling full. And we learned about stretch receptors in the stomach. One of the things that I think has helped us out a lot with the fasting is I have a water bottle here at the house that I use when I'm home. The kids gave me for Father's Day. So when I'm home, I have a water bottle that I throw ice and I throw water in and some lemons if I want some flavor. And then I have a water bottle at work that I put ice and water in. And I feel like that is a really big tool in this process that has helped me to stave off hunger. You get a little bit of hunger still, but it's nowhere near as bad when you're on sugar. So the water bottles have helped, and drinking the water has definitely helped. Reducing the sugar, looking at calorie density has definitely helped. The keto diet we already talked about. Dieting and fasting, we talked about fasting. So with the fasting, if you are thinking about giving it a try, you can do start off really easy with 14 and 10, where you eat all your food in a 10-hour window and you fast for 14. The fasting has been great. You know, we jumped right into it and went to an 18 and 6. And within like 4 days, we went to basically, you know, not a time thing, but oh man, we have one meal a day. And we've been expanding our diet a little bit. So we have like keto ice cream now and some stuff like that, which has been really good to have. The exercising, I already talked about the biking. Using the heart rate monitor has been a big help. I bought clipless pedals for my bike and clipless shoes. I really like those. That's been fun. That's like a whole nother thing to learn and get into. I really enjoy those. Clipless pedals allow you to clip your, it's funny because those are the pedals with the clips. You clip in, it allows you to put power on the backstroke. So you're working a separate set of leg muscles. And so you can apply power on your upstroke and your downstroke. And you're working both muscle groups in your leg. So you're building more leg muscle. You're getting more out of your workout. So that's been really good. The scale I already talked about in the last video. It's been awesome. I'll throw in some clips of where I'm at now with that. The heart rate monitor has been great for the workouts. Highly recommend the heart rate monitor. Heart rate monitor, basically you have a watch, a wristband, or a strap that goes around your chest. I don't want to deal with the strap. I'm putting the thing on at work. I'm taking it off at work. I don't want to be pulling my shirt up in front of, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to deal with that. I have a watch. I've had this watch I've been wearing this or a similar watch forever. So I did not want to replace my watch. I have an armband model by Polar. I love it. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't aggravate me. It wirelessly transmits to my phone. It's pretty seamless. So that's the way I chose to go. I really like it. The biking, heart rate monitor. So that's about it. That's been my progress. That's been my 1 month. That's how I got to this, was biking and keto and some fasting, which we have kind of varied up the rates of fasting. And honestly, within that program that we call the Tri-fecta, we go out to dinner once a week. We have a cheat night and like 100% just order whatever we want. I mean, the first time we went out, we ordered pasta marinara Alfredo at this, our favorite Italian restaurant. Totally outside keto, 100%, like the worst meal you could order. And we're still seeing these results. So you can definitely, this is something that I think you can live with. It helps if you like keto food. It helps if you like bike riding. And the fasting thing, it helps dramatically if you drink a lot of water and you are not taking in a lot of sugar. The fasting thing will be hugely, so much easier for you to live with. And so that's been our experience. I'm totally stoked. I'm down almost 27 pounds, and I think I have like 5 to go, and I'm where I wanted to be. It took me 10 years to figure it all out, but this trifecta plan of keto diet and biking and fasting, it's been the trick for us. It's really gotten it done, and we are really seeing the results that we're actually seeing better results than we had even hoped for. So that's been our experience. Hopefully this helps you out a little. If there's any questions that you have or whatever, feel free to leave a comment. I'd be happy to answer them. But I tried to cover everything that we've been doing. The only supplement that we're taking at all is capsaicin. And we're just trying to offset the BMR loss that was going to happen because we're losing weight. And but it is one of the things that is better about doing fasting instead of just reducing your caloric intake. If you reduce your daily caloric intake, that's how a lot of people, they use low-calorie diets to try to lose weight. Your body will often drop your BMR. And so when you go back to eating regular, your weight just comes right back. Well, when you do the fasting, instead of you're still consuming the same amount of calories or your target amount of calories, with the fasting, you don't see as big a reduction in BMR. And we're not. My BMR when I started this was like 1770, and right now it's like 1735. So it only dropped a little tiny bit. And that's on top of losing close to 27 pounds. So I think that the fasting has staved off the BMR reduction. And I believe that the Capsamax, the capsaicin that we're taking is helping too. That's the only supplement that we're taking at all. We're not even taking a multivitamin. We're not taking any other supplements at all, just the capsaicin. And it's, we've gotten really great results. So that's how we got there. If you have any questions or any other things about what I mentioned, whatever, or even tips, I mean, we are still learning too. Feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks. We'll see you.